where every top free agent will sign. The biggest name available on July 1st, Mitch Marner. Every team in the league will want to sign him. He's 20 years old, just came off 100 points. He will be gaining $14 million plus. Now the problem is, which team will give him that much money? My idea is he signs with the Vegas Golden Knights. There was talks a few days ago that Vegas and Toronto were working on a sign and trade deal. Now that is still possible, but very low odds. But for Marner to go to Vegas, they will need to clear some cap. Someone like Thomas Hertl, William Karlsson, or maybe Nicholas Wall will have to be moved to clear cap. The good thing is Alex Pietrangelo just got placed on LTIR, so that clears some cap for them. Marner going to Vegas, this is a great move for him. I think he gets to live in Vegas, he gets to live on top line with probably Eichel and Stone, and that team is amazing now and is a great Stanley Cup champion for 2026. Nikolai Ehlers. Most years, he will be the top free agent available, but he's not this year because of Mitch Marner. He will be team's second option if they can get out there and sign Mitch Marner. But once again, plenty of teams will still want to sign him. Nikolai Ehlers is 29 years old. He played 69 games this season and had 63 points. Now, my idea is the Jets, Canes, and Canucks are one of the teams most likely to sign him. First off, the Winnipeg Jets, they have $23 million in cap space, but they do still have to sign guys like Gabe Vilardi and like Mason Appleton, So, I don't know how much cap space they'll have after that, but the door is not fully closed with the Jets. Now, the Canes, that's the most likely option. The Canes are looking for that second line forward, and Nikolai Ehlers is that option. They have $26 million in cap space, and they don't really have to sign that notable names. They should definitely give him a good contract, like $10 million, and I think that's perfect for him. They obviously had Rantanen at the deadline, and they traded him, and they tried for Marner at the deadline too. I think they will try for Marner again, but I don't think they can get him, and I think Nikolai Ehlers will be that second option for them. And the third option is the Canucks. This is the most least likely to happen. The Canucks don't have much cap space. They only have $10 million, but they lost Brock Boeser. He hit free agency. I feel like Nikolai Ehlers is a good replacement for that. Overall, I feel Ehlers will sign with the Carolina Hurricanes on July 1st. Brad Marchand, he just came off 20 points in the playoffs. Like him or not, you will love him on your team. The three teams Brad Marchand is most likely to sign with is the Toronto Maple Leafs, Boston Bruins, and Florida Panthers. First off, the Toronto Maple Leafs have $13 million in cap space. And imagine after all those years of Brad Marchand hurting Leafs fans, being them, he goes and joins them. He's a player that the Leafs definitely need. He's a player who doesn't give up and is a huge playoff player. And I think that's what the Leafs need to become that real Stanley Cup contender. Secondly, the Boston Bruins. He played for the Bruins his whole life. He is a Bruin for life. He could get a statue. He's a Boston Bruin, Brad Marchand. Imagine trading him at the trade deadline for a first-round pick and then just signing him back in free agency. That'd be such a smart move from the Bruins management. The Bruins have $12 million in cap space. They don't sign any more notable names. Maybe Marchand takes a pay cut to stay and re-sign with the Boston Bruins. As of recording this, Brad Marchand has not re-signed with the Florida Panthers yet. Maybe he doesn't. But the Florida Panthers, he just played for them. He got traded to them after deadline, and he really enjoyed it. You saw on social media, he was a way different guy on that team, and he really enjoyed it, and that team looked amazing. He won a cup with them, and I wouldn't be shocked if he re-signs with them, and that'd be really scary for other teams. Now, Florida has roughly $11 million in cap space, so he would have to take a pay cut to go with them, which I think he might actually do to stay with that team because he loved it. Now, overall, I think that out of all three of these teams, Toronto, Boston, and Florida, I think he's most likely to sign with the Boston Bruins and go back and become a Boston Bruins legend again. Aaron Ekblad, most people are not giving him enough respect. This is a former first-round pick in 2014 we're talking about. He's a back-to-back Stanley Cup champion. He just had 33 points in 56 games. He's still got plenty of talent people are not talking about enough. Obviously, we're not talking about prime Aaron Ekblad now. He's turning 30 soon, but he can still give teams a good thing. I think we will be talking about on maybe July 5th, July 4th, that he will be a steal of free agency. Whoever gets him, I promise you, he'll be a steal. Edmonton, Nashville, Columbus, Utah are all interested in him, and they can be an option to sign him. But also Vegas Golden Knights, as maybe if they don't get Marner, they still have a lot of cap space. Maybe they go after Aaron Ekblad because they did lose Alex Pietrangelo. Now for the Oilers, Evan Bouchard is an RFA. That doesn't mean he'll be leaving. He will probably re-sign with them. Maybe they make him leave, and they get someone cheaper, and maybe save the team talent. Aaron Ekblad, he is older though. So maybe they go with that system. I'm not sure. The Predators, Aaron Ekblad and Yossi, that would be a crazy duo. Same thing with Columbus, Zach Werenski and Aaron Ekblad would be a great duo there. And I think that is still possible. And then with Utah, this is the most likely thing to happen. Obviously, Utah has some cap space, and I think Aaron Ekblad is a Utah player. He's not old, he's not young, and he fits that system. Him and Mika Servicek could play on the same line, and I think that's perfect for him. And I think that's what's most likely going to happen. Brock Boeser. Now, if teams can't get Mitch Marner as their first option, they will go after Nikolai Ehlers, their second option. But if they can't get Nikolai Ehlers as their second option, they will go for Brock Boeser, the third option. Now, Brock Boeser just came off 50 points in 75 games. He's 28 years old, and he's a really good player. Obviously, him in Vancouver, I think it's confirmed that door is closed, and he will not be going back with the Vancouver Canucks this season. Now, the three teams he's most likely to sign with is the Edmonton Oilers, Chicago Blackhawks, and Toronto Maple Leafs. First off, the Edmonton Oilers are still, I would think it would be crazy to have Brock Boeser on that line. You could fit him on that first line, that second line. It'd be crazy, and that team would still be unstoppable. Maybe go to another final and maybe finally win it. Who knows? Brock Boeser will be crazy with the Oilers. Now, for the Chicago Blackhawks, he sounds like a Blackhawks player. They're helping out Bedard again. They're playing at cap space, and they could overpay for Brock Boeser on a short-term deal and build Bedard and just make that team way better. I think that's exactly what they will do. Now, for the Toronto Maple Leafs, as of recording this, they have $13 million in cap space. They haven't signed the replacement or traded for a replacement of Mitch Marner yet, and I think Brock Boeser could be that replacement. You could fit him on that line with Matthews and Nyes, and I think Brock Boeser could fit in that system well, and he could play there, and he would fit well, and he is your Marner replacement. Overall, out of all these three teams, who will Brock Boeser most likely sign with? I think it's the Chicago Blackhawks. He fits that system. He's a good player for Bedard, and I think Bedard knows him well. Actually, being a Canucks fan, watching him growing up, I think that would just fit perfectly for him. Anyways, comment where you think all these top players will go and what your favorite team is, and then like and subscribe so your team goes out there and signs big players. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.